Okay, I think we're live. Let's make sure. Maybe it's not working. Oh, let me let these people in. Okay, I guess it's working. It says it's working.
Mhm.
Oh, there it goes. I think I found it. Sorry, everyone. Having a little technical difficulties. All right, we're in there. We're in there. Hey, Ada. Welcome, welcome. All right, we're about ready to start now. Okay, if everyone can see my screen, can you put a 1 in the chat for me, please? Okay, dope. Everything is working right. Okay, let's get started. Thank you for your patience. All right, welcome, welcome. My name is Leela Brown, and this is my free medical courier masterclass where I'm going to share with you how to land your first contract, your medical courier or your medical supply contract in the next 30 to 90 days. Most of you all should know me. I'm Leela, the serial entrepreneur. I'm a successful entrepreneur and I have made multiple six figures in the medical industry, and I want to share with you all how you can do the same. So a little bit of housekeeping rules. I wanted to make sure that everyone, first and foremost, congratulations. Thank you for coming to the class. Know that this is not a get rich quick scheme. This will require you to be dedicated and consistent. You must do those two things in order to see results. Not sometimes, not part-time, but daily. This class will be about 60 to 90 minutes long, so make sure that you put your questions in the chat box as we're going along, and I will be answering them as I see them. And then also, if you want to stay to the end and ask even more questions, make sure you do that. We will have a Q&A session at the end. Make sure that you um, have a pen and paper to make sure that you get all of the apps, the tips, everything that I give you. and cancel out all your distractions. Now, first thing is I am Leela underscore Brown. I'm Leela underscore Brown everywhere. I have to make this disclaimer. It's because there's a lot of pages on Instagram and on TikTok of me, but it's not me. It's people taking my videos, taking my likeness, and then reposting it as their own. So if you're trying to differentiate, I am the only Leela underscore Brown. I am blue checked on Instagram. I'm working on TikTok right now. So just don't go for any scams as far as I'm saying or the person that is running the page saying that they are a Forex seller, a financial literacy program that they're selling. It's not me. I'm not going to ask for Cash App or Zelle, none of that. Just wanted to make sure that you all understood that. And then please invite two people that you feel that needs this assistance, that need to make some money, that is either working and want to make some extra money, or they need to replace their current income. So I'm going to drop it in the chat for you to be able to share with at least two friends where you can be able to share the wealth. Share the wealth. Okay, so before I get started, teaching you all the method, I want to share with you some proof. I want to share with you that this is real and it is being done, but you do have to be consistent. The individuals that I'm about to share with you, this is both the medical courier and the medical supply. You can do both, or you can do one or the other. You have options with the medical courier industry. So one of my best students is Christina. She's landed several multiple medical supply contracts. These contracts are contracts that are won and given by the government. So if you ever hear me talking about government contracting, this is what I'm referring to, being able to do business with the government. And then you um, are considered the prime contractor, the person that is going to be running the contracts, dispatching it, hiring drivers, all of that. So this is medical supply. Christina was consistent. I have to make sure that I keep telling you that you have to be consistent and persistent, because on the third month, she landed over 49 government contracts. It took her almost 3 months in order to get to that goal. Then we have Jim here. Jim wanted to work part-time driving and did not want to quit his full-time job. A lot of you all have a great, decent 9 to 5 job, and you're like, I just want to make some extra income. This is for you. So Jim was doing anywhere from $500 to $700 extra a week, 3 very part-time days. That's anywhere from 2,000 to almost $3,000 a month on top of his 9 to 5 income. Then we have Shay. Shay has landed her 2 delivery opportunities with companies, and she's making over 5K a month. So yes, these are real medical supply and medical courier contracts. We've helped students win, and I just want to share with you all, it does not matter where you enter at, whether you're a beginner or advanced, you can make money in this business, or if you just want to treat it as a side hustle, that is cool as well. So why does it work for everyday people? Well, it is the most recession-proof income. I've been saying this since I first started about 4 years ago, and it still stands as proof today. Whether we're talking about a pandemic or a government shutdown, the medical industry is one of the best recession-proof businesses that you can get into, as well as the transportation. We're coupling both of them together. Why do I say that? It's because it does not require any CDL license, no DOT, no MC license. You don't need any experience. Now, although I say you don't need any experience, I'm going to be sharing with you how we're going to put some type of experience on our resume, just so we can make sure that companies know that we do have some experience, even though it's not required. But I don't want anyone feeling like, oh, if you have two people going after a certain position and one has experience and one doesn't, well, you already know the that has the experience is most likely going to be guaranteed that position over the person who does it. But I want to share with you that you can take some of your past experience, if you don't have any, and apply it to now so you can land these contracts. The greatest thing about it is that you don't need any car and you don't even need a vehicle, especially if you focus on getting the contracts and hiring drivers to run these routes for you. This is 100K a year business model. I've done multiple 100Ks a year with the medical courier, medical supply, and you can learn today. So my goal for you all today is to share with you how to make an extra 3 to 7K by delivering medical specimens or supplies with your car. And the greatest thing about it, without waiting a long wait time to see results. I seen my first contract within about 7, 8 days of me consistently applying. The greatest thing about it, you don't need any startup money. All you need is your phone, your car, and your personal car insurance. You don't even need commercial. There's plenty of companies that do not require you to have commercial car insurance. And you don't need to invest in a box truck, a van, a pickup, anything that's a larger vehicle. I was able to do this with a 4 car sedan, even sometimes in a 2 car, because I was renting cars with Hertz, and sometimes they just gave me whatever they had. And at times it was a 2 door car versus a 4 door. Now, the greatest thing about the strategy that I'm going to teach you today is that this does not require more than 60 minutes a day. You can do everything I'm sharing with you in less than 1 hour a day. So the strategy and the methods that you're about to discover are the exact same strategies that I personally use to grow my medical courier business to multiple 6 figures a year, and as well as my students. Now, I want to kind of differentiate. There's several ways that you can get a contract. So you can get a contract like Derek here. You can get on-demand contracts. That is what the my goal was. In the beginning, I just wanted a contract. I didn't care where it came from, how it was set up. But then I quickly found out about on-demand. On-demand is when they call you or you call them for a contract for work. So once you get hired, once you're good and all your papers and everything is signed, then they'll start to call you and say, hey, can you work this day? Hey, can you work this week? Those are on-demand contracts. That is what I explained to one of my students, Derek here. And he was able to land him two, and he's working on the third on-demand contract. So that is one way in order for you to get contracts. You can be on demand or you can be hourly. They can pay you, let's say $15, $20 an hour, and then they'll give you gas reimbursement or mileage reimbursement. It could be anywhere from 30 cents to 60 cents on top of your base pay. So that's another way that you can get contracts. Then you can partner with companies when you go ahead. Let's say you want to grow the business larger. Like one of my students, Tanya, she went from driving her own vehicle to investing in a cargo van, and now she partners with medical courier and courier companies who already have the work. So that can be independent contracting. Some of it can be hourly or base, but I just wanted to share with you there's different types of contracts, but they all are doing medical courier work. It just depends on what it is that you want and also what is available in your area. Can we stack medical courier with DNA testing? Um, can you teach that? I'm forming a structure in my LLC now. So, Devin, I can get into this a little later because this is something that you should be doing. You should be stacking your medical courier business with other services that you are, that would fall and that is aligned with what you're doing. So for me, yes, I'm doing medical courier, but I am stacking as well DNA, ink fingerprinting, drug testing, and notary. So those are all services that you can add to your medical courier business, but most definitely, yes, you can. So if you stick with me to the end of the class, there will be an offer for you to be able to get these same results. So why should you start? So I don't like to just say, you should, this is recession proof, this is great money without having to back it up a little bit. So these statistics right here is from a 10 year span. Now, this is from 2023 going all the way to 2033. If you see these different colors right here, it represents different things within the medical courier industry. So, the medical courier is considered like an umbrella, and what you do under that umbrella can fall under medical courier. So, we have medical specimens, we have lab specimens, we have transportation of x-rays, prescription drugs, blood and organ, as well as medical notes. So as you can see from 5.9 in 2023, it has the medical courier and transportation industry is set to almost double within 10 years. And this is why I say it is the most recession proof, is because during the time when the pandemic was hitting, medical courier and a couple of other type of niche businesses, those were considered necessities. So when it came time for us, some of us to stay home, I was out, I was in the streets, I was helping, I was doing delivery, I was doing life-saving type of courier work. And I just wanted to share with you all how great of a business this is, whether you are beginner or advanced. Now, I have tried a lot of side hustles, side businesses, from drop shipping to selling products on Amazon, affiliate marketing, a little bit of real estate. I've done it all. And what I can say is this is by far, medical courier is one of the easiest businesses, many side businesses that you can invest in, because it doesn't require a lot from you. It doesn't require a lot of investment. And it's pretty fairly easy. I don't like using the word easy because a lot of people feel like or may think that you don't have to do no work. You still got to do the work, even if it is easy. So now you're probably thinking, who the heck is this Leela Brown girl and why should you listen to me? And that's a really good question. So I want to spend just a few minutes breaking down a quick story of who I am, what it is I do, and what got me to this point. So I came from entrepreneurial families. I came from an entrepreneurial mom and dad. My mom and dad were bakery owners. They opened a jazz lounge, they opened a school, they opened up books, herbs, and things. So a lot of people may wonder, where do I get it from? I get it from my mom and dad. So this is 19-year-old me, and this is my dad. One of the first businesses or side businesses that I started when I left home and started going to college, working part-time. I started a business called Sister Shabazz Pastries. It was me and my three other sisters. And we would bake the things that we grew up learning from my mom and dad. So pies, cakes, cookies, bean pies, cheese pies, enchilada pies, you name it, we had it. So that is one of the first businesses that I started in my adult life. So then several years later, I did multiple jobs. I was a nursing major. I thought I wanted to be a nurse. And it's so funny. I have so many full circle moments, but this is one of them. I did drop out of nursing school just to sit here and have a medical courier company that is within the medical industry. So I did wanted to do something in the medical. I wanted to be able to help people. Nursing was just not it, but I found other ways to get into that. So during that time, I dropped out. Right before I got ready to get into nursing school, I dropped out. I got married. Me and my husband started working minimum wage jobs. It was difficult at time, because life be lifing, it be happening. Bills was due, and so we were forced to start looking for other ways to make money. And I always had a side hustle on the side. I actually got into Amazon. Amazon at the time was paying the best because it didn't require any like degrees, any licensing. And at that time, minimum wage was like, I think like $8 to $9, and it was like 12.50. Then I had to move back with my parents. I was 30 years old, newly married, struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. I felt like a failure because I knew I wanted more. I knew I came from more, but I just didn't know like what was my thing. But in May in 2018, my life changed. My father passed away. We buried him May 2018, and this was my breaking point. I know a lot of people will, tell you, life is not guaranteed. You could be here today and gone tomorrow. But when you actually have to go through it, you really look at it a little different. And so I told myself, I'm going all in. After that, I said I didn't want any excuses. I already knew I was broke. I didn't have no free time, no connections, no money. I mean, I'm talking about to actually invest into a whole business. So I told myself, I wanted to start just doing everything. I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do or what I like to do. So therefore, I can kind of hone in on something. So I started trading. I opened my own vending machine business. I landed several contracts with warehouses and a few with some like smaller business local businesses. But I went in and wanted to invest in, and I had told myself that any business that you're going to invest in, it needs to withstand the current pandemic or another pandemic. That's why vending was at the top of my list. It's because that didn't require any individual human interaction, because if you remember at that time, it was 6 feet, social distancing. So I was like, a vending machine business. And it was great. It was passive income. It made money. But the thing about it is that it did require investment money as far as getting more additional machines. So each machine would cost me anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 per machine. And sometimes some locations had two machines. So I was starting to see that, if I wanted to grow the business, I did need a little bit of like coins. And so all these other businesses that I tried, they worked, they really did, but it was just either the competition, the long wait time, or I needed more money. That's just being very realistic. So at that time, everyone was trying to make money selling a viral product online, including myself. I was one of those people. But I had told myself, let's try and make some money in person without having to show up online. And I'm not saying this is nothing that you shouldn't be doing. That was just my focus. I wanted to really focus on trying to make money in person versus online. So I went to a class, something similar to what you all are in, and I seen some of the requirements. I actually paid into somebody's mini mentorship, and I was like, all right, this sounds good, but I was a little skeptical. Not enough to not do it, but just enough to be realistic with myself. I was like, is this really real? I know some of you are all probably feeling like that. How many in the chat? How many of you all feel like, is this really real? So after being skeptical, and I told myself I was still all in. I told myself I was going to make sure that I commit to everything and I was going to try. So that's what I did. I started applying for different medical courier and courier opportunities the day after my training. Then I started started researching any licensing, any certifications needed. And you don't need any licensing. You do need a couple of certifications. Excuse me, but I'm gonna share with you later. Some companies don't even require you to get that on your own. They will pay you for it. But this is me. After no, excuse me, 3 weeks, I was making over 5K months. So every single week I was applying, applying, applying. I was taking these blue and green black bags that you see right here. All I was doing was going into the hospitals or clinic, picking them up. Sometimes they had me to sign in and out, and then I would load them onto a cart, put them in the back seat, and then this was some of the medical supply things. That's how some medical supply items would come up. They weren't in these bags. These bags were filled with blood specimens, actual individuals, people's blood. So therefore, it wouldn't be all out like this. The greatest thing about it, I was like, this didn't require any special skills. I didn't need to know anyone. I didn't even need to live in a popular area, because when I was doing Uber and Lyft, a couple of years prior to this, I had already knew that where I was at in Riverside, California, I knew that Los Angeles, which was about an hour and a half away from where I stay at, I knew that that's where the money was. So I told myself, even if I didn't live in a popular area, I was still accessible to those areas and being able to get to my financial goals. So by the second month, I was making over 8K a month. It was more like $8,500 a month. I was able to reinvest in my current business. I was able to upgrade my lifestyle. And so some of the things that I did during that time is that we opened up an event studio right here. We opened it up. That is where we hosted our own events. And then we also allow other people to host their events like baby showers, weddings, quinceañeras, anything that anyone wanted to host a party, a gathering. I was able to use the money that we was making from Medical Courier to invest in that business. So we needed tables, chairs, piping, draping. This is why I say, Medical Courier is good for a second income, paying bills or even investing into your business or your next business. And that's what me and my husband did. This is me and my husband here. And then I had told myself that remember I told you I was going all in. So that also meant I wanted to remain uncomfortable. I did not want to stay comfortable. Comfortable is no money, is you not reaching your goals because you're comfortable. I said I wanted to become uncomfortable. So I started doing speaking engagements. I started networking. I went to a networking event that was hosted and I was invited by this guy right here, Eric Coffey. If you know, he's like 20 years in the business with government contracting. I was invited on the stand store to share my story. I did my first in-person mastermind. I started going on podcasts. Like I literally said that this was going to be no regrets. I didn't want no regrets. So the whole premises of it was me taking items in my car, medical, and delivering it to these hospitals or whatnot. And then again, I later started to get contracts and then have other people use their car, their vehicle to do these same deliveries. Now, just keeping it 100. It can work for tons and it has worked for tons of everyday people, but there's no guarantee that it'll work for you. And why I say this is because I don't know your hustle. I don't know your drive. If you're anything like me, you will be successful. But if you are not going to be consistent, not do the things that I'm going to share with you in this free class, you might not get those same results. So I just want to make sure I'm very transparent and clear with you all. But I will say that this is the number one money making method that I will recommend to you all, including my husband. One more story before we get started. So when I first started, I was telling my husband, I was like, I want to start doing medical courier, and he was just like, okay, another business. And because if you know me, I'm always starting businesses. And so he, at that time, was working for a Walmart distribution center. He was working graveyard. It was very intense job, working 10, sometimes 12-hour days. And so it was a lot. When I made my first $5,000 month, then that's when he started listening a little bit more closer. He was like, so wait, what are you doing again? And I told him, and he was like, I'm over here slaving at Walmart. I want to start doing this with you. So I said, bet. I said, go on a leave, which he went out on a leave. And then I talked to the Tyler, who was the number one person that I had got a contract with, which was called Crosstown. We'll talk about that a little later. I got my husband on, so he was able to drive and I was able to drive. And mind you, we are on demand drivers. That means they call me or they call him or we call them to say, hey, do you have any work? When I tell you, me and my husband was making 3K plus a week just from doing medical courier. Now there is a little small part that I'm leaving out is that although Crosstown was the biggest company, the best company that got to my $600 days, it wasn't the only thing that helped me get to there. I believe in stacking. Not just stacking like DNA or any other type of services. I'm talking about stacking the same type of routes, the same type of contracts multiple times a day. So what I would do is I would also use apps and I will also get other medical courier opportunities. So if you take one thing from this class, even when you land your first contract, keep applying. I repeat, keep applying because you never know what is the next opportunity. And then nine times out of 10, it can pay better than the last one. So you're probably wondering, how does it work? So let's break everything down step by step. I created a three-step formula for me and my students to be able to land high-paying delivery opportunities as well as how to stack them to yield that 3, 4, 5, or $600 days. So your step one is going to be finding the contract. Let me just look in the chat real fast. I see there's some questions. Um, yes, honey, we will be you will be able to rewatch this. Devin says, I would love to collab with you. There's some other niches people don't see. All right, cool, Devin. Let's talk about it. In a class, let's talk about it. If not, you can email me. Um, Ada says, are certifications like HIPAA, OSHA, bloodborne pathogen training required? Yes. So those trainings is required, at least the HIPAA and the bloodborne pathogen training. I will say that the company that I work for, who was it, Crosstown, they paid me to take the training. They paid me to take the training. Remember you saying you may have to go 100 miles out if you stay in a city like Atlanta. Is that still the case? Should you always branch out? Devin, yes, always. This is for everyone. Always branch out. Do not stay outside your backyard. Do not stay in a 15-mile, 20-mile radius because you will not get those type of opportunities that I'm speaking of. So if you are in an area like Atlanta, it's busy, then look for surrounding cities and counties. Don't just stay in Atlanta. Know that this is a driving type of business, so you all have to be ready and prepared to drive. So let's get back into it. So find the contract is step number one. These are probably the top five sites. I'm gonna give you the fifth one. But the top five is going to be Indeed, Indeed.com, ZipRecruiter, the CLDA.org, Driver Talk, also known as CB Driver, Season Cat, B as in boy. And then the fifth one is going to be good old Google. I know you're probably like, really? Yes, good old Google. Now, remind you, this is for anyone that has a vehicle that wants to get contracts. I don't care if you have a van, a box truck, it does not matter. And you want to go get contracts and work and partner with another company. This is not you running your own business. In some instances, you can find companies that is willing to hire you as a vendor, and now you can hire subcontractors under you to drive these routes. But nine times, or maybe 8 out of 10, these are going to be opportunities that you're going to be driving yourself. If you want to get the bigger contracts, stay to the end because you are going to need the bigger contracts or private contracts where there's more room in a contract. So when you do hire someone, you are happy and then they are happy. So make sure that you apply for, excuse me, that you write down these sites on where to look for these opportunities at. So the next part is you need to update your resume. You need to update your resume to reflect at least 1 to 2 medical courier or courier opportunities that, excuse me, jobs that you've worked in the last, I would like to say, it's either your recent or your last job. That's what I suggest. Do not go up there and change your resume to reflect the whole medical courier or courier resume. That is not needed. When I first got started, I had technically no medical courier experience, but I did have courier independent contracting experience because I was doing Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart. And I want to share with you all, for anyone that says that they don't have experience, well, you do have experience. How many people in the chat have worked, excuse me, have gone and picked up food for their loved ones, have gone to taken your child or your parent or grandparent to the doctor, or went and got their prescriptions filled and then sent it back to them. If you've done all of those things, you can put that on your resume. Put that on your resume. That's what I suggest. And if you're creating a company, let your last um, resume entry or your previous one, put your business on there. Put what business that you're working for. They don't gotta know that's your business. Put the things that you've done in that business. They don't have to know that, you didn't get paid for it. But I just want you to show some type of experiences because yes, I do believe that it is a tiny bit saturated with this, but I don't think that it is overly saturated and you can't win. But the things that I'm telling you is the things that will differentiate you from the rest. Will put you at the front of the line versus the back. So that's why I say you don't need experience, but I like to put some type of experience on my resume. Make sense? Next, you need to apply for these jobs. Where are you going to apply for them at? On these different sites. You do not go to the next site until you exhaust every opportunity that is on there and you've applied to it. Then you go to the next one. I don't want you to hopping on Indeed, then hopping on Zip, then CLDA. I want you to apply for everything the way I share with you on Indeed before you move on to the next. And the same thing with the keywords. So you're going to have keywords. In order for you to look for these type of opportunities, these jobs, you have to put in your keywords. So let's do some live examples. So let's say the first keyword, actually put some cities in states in the chat. Let's do some real actual states and cities of people that are in the chat. Okay. All right, so let's go. NHCPS offer free HIPAA certification if you donate in case anyone needs. Oh, that's what's up, Devin. Thanks for sharing. Um, oh, and they do bloodborne pathogen certifications. Bomb. Thank you for sharing. I did not know that. Okay, so let's grab somebody in here. All right, so let's do Atlanta, Georgia. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab this keyword. So we're going to do medical courier. We're going to do medical courier. And we're going to put Atlanta, Georgia. And then we're going to press search. So remember, you're going to apply for everything on all 5 of these pages before you go to the next keyword. And then you're going to rinse and repeat the next keyword. Some other keywords, write these down as 1099, 1099. You can put in driver as a keyword. You could put in car as a keyword. You could put on demand as a keyword, but these are your top 3. And then I normally go with the other keywords once I've applied for everything in these keywords. So that's the first thing. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you open up your mileage to 100. Now, Indeed has been changing some stuff. So normally right here, this usually has it where it's 15, 30 miles, 100 miles. Now they put it in minutes. So if you're wondering what should you put, the most, 90 minutes. That is about 60 to 100 miles, 90 minutes. So when I used to put in 90 minutes or I put in 90 minutes from where I'm at, that will put me into LA. Or that will put me into San Diego or Orange County. That's the surrounding cities around me. That is the biggest thing is that you want to open it up. So from 200, 45 minutes away, let's see, we have 200 plus. You want to be able to see the most opportunity. Sometimes it may not work because you're in a big city, but if you go ahead and change this out to a smaller city next to you, or the next city over or the next county, then you can see a further reach of different opportunities. Because the goal is for you to apply for as many as you can on a daily basis. on a daily basis. Um, so when is everyone going to start looking for contracts? And the answer should be one or two things. Tonight, right now, maybe tomorrow, but you need to take action on this right now. And the reason why I say that is because opportunities do not stay and the good ones fly by fast. I remember when I first started looking, there was plenty of companies that will be there one day, 3 or 4 days later. I didn't even see it in the search anymore. I can even contest to that when I was working for Crosstown. I asked Tyler, that was the hiring manager there. I said, "How long was this job description up for?" And he was like, "No more than 2 days. Once I reached 200 applicants, I would take it down." So this is why I'm telling you all, act on it right now. And then even some hiring managers are looking Sunday night and Monday morning. So that's another tip, that you want to do a lot of your applying every day, but you should be at least put in double on a Sunday or on even on a Monday, because that is usually when they come in and review the applications. And if you are at the top versus the back, at the bottom, you are going to be able to get called faster, because a lot of times they'll get who they're looking for and they might go off the top. And if you're in the back, you won't make that cut. So this is why I tell everyone, make sure that you are applying right now, right now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Let me just take a look in the chat. ASAP. Devin says, "I'm submitting it now." That's what's up, Devin. Devin, have you been in class before? Because I feel like you have been. Pamela says, "Tonight." Gabriel says, "Going out towards Henry County or make it is good for people in ATL." Good, good for Gabriel. Anyone in ATL, I don't know that area, but he says Henry County. Tonight, Total says, "When we finish." Devin says, "I asked you about the pallets." I thought I had connected with you before. Okay. So next step is we're going to land the contract. So how are we going to land the contract? That's step number two. You land contracts, again, is based off of how much are you applying. You need to set yourself up with a number. You should not be saying, "I'm apply when I get there, when I come over there, when I see the opportunity, when I feel like it." No, you need to be applying every single day, at least 25 to 40 a day. And I'm going to be realistic with you. I was doing 40 to 50 a day. I repeat, I was not playing. This is why I tell everyone, I don't know how fast you're going to get a contract, because I don't know how your hustle is, how your drive is. Mine's, when I set my mind to it, I'm going to do it. And I make sure sometimes I might be a little excessive. I might do too much. And that's okay. At least for me, it's because I know I'm going to get to that goal faster. So for you all, because again, I don't want anyone not going to do anything. They might feel like, "Oh, 40 to 50 is too much, so I'm not going to do nothing." No, I want to do a nice medium. I suggest everyone in this room to apply for at least 25 to 40 a day. That means on Indeed. The greatest thing about that, once you apply, it'll show you you already applied, so you're not double applying. But remember, you're going to go and hit every single opportunity and then apply. I don't care, even if you feel like it don't even pay enough, still apply. It's because when I got hired with Crosstown, I applied as an hourly driver. Then when I was speaking to him, I was telling him what I was really looking for, what I wanted. Do not be afraid to talk to these different companies and tell them what you want and what you're looking for, because you might be surprised you'll get what you're asking for. Because I did. I was able to land that on-demand contract is because I told them what it was I wanted. And then he told me, he said, "Well, we don't have any backup on-demand drivers in Southern California." He said, "You and your husband can be the backup." At the first, it was just me. Then I brought my husband on, and he was like, "Then we'll add him as well." That means when someone go on vacation, when someone doesn't come in, they call and we come in and save the day. And this is very, very important, even when you're running your medical courier business. Do not think that you're going to have only on-demand workers or only W-2 workers. You should have both. Because what if your independent contractor or your hourly worker, it just didn't come or sick or something? You need a backup. So the on-demand was considered the backup. I know I'm kind of getting far off, but just make sure that you speak what it is that you want. Remember, no one knows what you want. They don't know that you want a contract. They don't know if you want a on demand at that. So you must be very vocal and very loud about it. So keep that in mind. Okay, the next thing, after we apply for our 25 to 40 a day, I want you to make sure that you turn on notifications. Turn on the notifications and make sure you got your keywords in there of what you're looking for. You're looking for medical courier and courier opportunities. The reason being is because once they drop and they give you the notification on in your email, you should really almost drop everything you're doing to go apply. Because remember, it doesn't take more than 2 minutes to apply for anything on Indeed. You literally go in here and press apply, and it's like a two-step process because you're not going on there and applying on their full website. You're applying within Indeed. The actual couple of questions, you say yes, look, submit. That didn't even take 2 minutes. It's actually 30 seconds. So it does not take a long time. So turn on those notifications. Now, get your pens and paper because I do want to share some medical courier and courier companies that you should be reaching out to. Remember, everything that I tell you in here in this class should not just be done on with some of the things. You need to do everything. So if I'm telling you apply for 25 to 40 a day, do that. If I'm giving you another list of medical courier pump companies that you're going to partner with, you do that as well. If I tell you to go get a list and I give you, or I'll give you a list and tell you to cold call and apply, do that as well. You're not just doing one thing to get to your goals. I don't know any business where that work at. You have to do a lot of different things just to be able to get one or two out of it, one or two contracts. So next, these are 10 partnering companies that I have pulled and researched. Some of them is nationwide, so that means wherever you're at, you will be able to apply and get on with them. But some of them it is will be segmented in for maybe certain states or even a certain state. But just know that you want partnering companies. Partnering companies mean that they already have the work. Some of these companies are getting government contracts. I know for sure, and I'm gonna share with you later on that Crosstown gets government contracts and they post opportunities on Indeed right here. That's where I found my contract out with Crosstown. So keep in mind that Crosstown does have three total websites. They might even have four right now by this time, but they have three websites. Each website is going to be located is for different regions of the state of the United States. So there's one where I'm at because I'm in California, and this service I think Arizona, Utah, Vegas, Washington State. Then there's another crosstown that services more of the East Coast, and then there's another one for like the Midwest. Just go apply. Apply for all of them if you can, because you never know. Because I was able to even become a vendor with Crosstown. I didn't take them up. And remember what a vendor is. A vendor means that you and your company is now getting hired to run these routes, but you can actually hire someone under you to run the routes. The only reason why I didn't do that is because there wasn't enough money in the contract. And I didn't have enough contracts for it to make sense. Remember, in order to make contracts while you're excuse me, make money with these contracts while you're sitting at home and getting them, you need to have multiple contracts and multiple drivers so you can eat off of every single driver. You're not going to be able to make $300 a day off of one driver. No, especially if you're or not having a lot of money in that contract. But Crosstown, just keep in mind there's Go Crosstown right here. There's Crosstown Couriers, and then there's Crosstown Courier Services as well. So research all of them and apply, along with everything else that I have here. I'm gonna leave this up for another 5 seconds. Make sure that you um screenshot, take a picture. If you can write it down fast, go ahead and do that. See in the chat. Sometimes I found out the jobs on Indeed does not reflect on the company's page. That's very true, but that does not mean that you don't apply. There is plenty of companies that you will not find some of these positions on their website, and then they're on Indeed, and then vice versa. Then there's some companies that you'll find the opportunity on their website, but not on Indeed. So no, two things can be true. Therefore, I like to hit both. This is why I'm giving you these partnering companies, because sometimes these companies are not going to be on Indeed. All right, this is the second half of the list. Go ahead and screenshot this. Screenshot, write it down, take a picture. Remember, these are the companies that you should be reaching out along with your Indeed searches. You're applying on Indeed. And I know we're talking about Indeed, but you're going to rinse and repeat everything we're talking about on Indeed and do it for ZipRecruiter. And then do it for the CLDA. And then do it for CB Driver. And then at that point, if you've exhausted all of that, then let's go to Google and start putting in medical courier as keywords so we can search it. Excuse me. Hi, I'm applying now. The first listen is a farm tech courier. Does that mean I need farm tech experience? I'm not sure. I would say just apply because I haven't read the description. Because that could mean you are delivering for a pharmacy technician. Doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be a farm tech. So just keep that in mind, Jennifer. But just apply. If anything you take from this call today is that apply for everything. Let them tell you, even if you have a felony, if you had an accident, if you think, oh, you're driving, your DMV report is not good, just apply. Because you'd be surprised what they'll allow or not allow. And we don't want to get into this whole game of, oh, I think, or I don't know if they'll hire me. Nope, just apply. Just apply. Okay, the next list that I have is, remember earlier I was telling you that medical courier has an umbrella of different other courier opportunities that you can deliver. And organ and life-saving courier partners is another one. Now, although you write down this list right here, it does not mean that they won't have medical courier type of opportunities as well. This is just saying that they also have organ life-saving courier opportunities. Again, I want you to take everything that I've listed from these companies here, here, and here. You are to do a Google search, put TXJet in Google, find the website. Once you find the website, apply. A lot of times they'll have something as easy as become a courier, apply to drive with us. You see anything like that, apply. Then you wait a couple of days and then you come back and do follow up. Then you should call them. Then you should email them. I like to hit everyone 3 to 5 different times. I do not just rely on just calling. So for example, I am opening up a new business. It's still medical courier, but I'm adding those other services that I was talking about earlier. And I already know that I am not just going to be calling. I'm not just going to be emailing. I'm going to get my little self up. I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna come in with my capability statement. That right there is like the resume for business owners. But I'm gonna come with that and I'm gonna go in there and pitch. I say that is because a lot of us just think that we're gonna get the job or the opportunity just by applying or calling one time. No, make yourself visible. A lot of people do business with live in-person people. And so I'm doing everything I'm telling you all, I'm doing it the same way because I've seen so much better results when I got out of my comfortability. A lot of times we don't make the calls, we don't get up and go visit. It's because we're scared. We doubt ourselves. We do all of these things, but actually do what the thing we're supposed to do. And then when we actually do it, you'll be like, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad. Um, so Oregon right here. The other two, these are not Oregon partners. These are just medical courier partners. They're not Oregon. These are Oregon. So I gave you 15. I gave you 10 medical courier and I gave you 5 organs. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, let's keep it going. So all you need to do is find just one of these, right? Just one. Do you hire drivers for your contracts? It depends. It depends on the contract. Because some contracts don't require a driver. Like, for example, if I were to win, I say, a medical supply contract and I go through a private or a government based contract, you're not going to need to hire anyone. If I get a contract and I say it's driving, sometimes I'm not going to hire him. You know why? Because I'll give it to my husband, or I give it to my sister, or I give it to my nephew. I'm still making the money, but instead of me hiring outside, I get my circle. I keep it within. My goal is to get as many people around me booked and busy before I start hiring out. That's my goal. Okay, so let's keep it going. Shanta, Shantavia, these contracts, everything is located everywhere. And if you're in Florida, please look for Crosstown. Look into Crosstown Courier, because Crosstown Courier is in Florida and Georgia. Now I'm not gonna say it's in an entire Georgia and Florida because they be having their areas on where it's most popular, but Crosstown for sure is in Florida. I live in LA. That's why I'm asking if you hire for like government contracts busy. Yes, if that's what the contract is needed for, then yes. I only say that is because so many contracts is based off of what it is that they're asking you for. And mind you, I do go after medical courier contracts, but I've been going after other medical service-based contracts that may or may not need someone to get hired. And if they do need to get hired, that's when I will do it. But if I can do it, or like I said, my husband can, then yes. So potentially, I am hiring my husband or my sister or my nephew. I just know them, if that makes sense. Okay, so the last step, this is how you're able to make lots of money. You can turn a $200 to $300 day into a $400 or $500 day. You can turn a $300 or $400 day to a $500 or $600 day. I do this by stacking. You are not going to get to your financial goals from one medical courier route. And I'm going to repeat, you're not going to get to your financial goals from one route. There was plenty of days that I had one main medical route and 2 or 3 apps that I was running. Or I had one main or 2 main courier or medical courier routes, and then I run 1 or 2 apps. I do both. There's no example where I'm telling you all I made $500-600 days off of one contract. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but I'm just very transparent to tell you what I did because I don't believe in just being out here just selling false dreams, and it's like, but did that happen for you? And I'm like, no. Then don't say that. So I like to only share with my experience. Now I know there's probably someone out there in the internet world that's like, yep, I got a contract and they pay me $1,000 a day. All right, cool. But that's not what I did. We stack over here. It takes more than one opportunity to get to the 500 to 600 plus days. And this is how we do it. So these are some apps that you can look into. One Rail, everyone should be looking into Run Rail, is because they have opportunities all over the USA. It's a nationwide. And I believe Open Force and Courier Board as well. Look into them, and I think airspace as well. It's just a little difficult. You got to be patient with airspace, but airspace is very, very profitable. Now I do realize that a lot of these apps, I know there's a lot of people that's getting on these apps, and a lot of these companies will put you on a wait list because they don't want to oversaturate the app. That's great. That's great. That means that the people who is on the app can make money. they allow everyone on the app, then it's not everyone not gonna make that much money. So that it is good that they wait list, but it's terrible if you want to get off the wait list. So I tell you that I suggest other apps that you should be leveraging. So there is field inspection agent apps where all you do is take pictures for real estate agents, or what else? Government, that they have their property that may be going through foreclosure. You're just going in there and snapping some pictures. They don't pay a whole bunch, but remember, we're stacking this with our medical courier and courier opportunities. Everything adds up. So make sure you grab these. Now these two over here, InstaWork and WorkWow, I did added these two. Is the reason is because there is medical opportunities on here, and I have a friend that she contested that. She started working Insta Work, and they had some medical sanitation workers. And of course, it's not medical courier, but it's medical. If you know anything about me, courier is great, but I'm more so attracted to that medical title. Anything in the medical industry. And so you're just going into these hospitals and being a sanitation worker, yeah, a sanitation worker, and you're just cleaning up the beds, utensils, and all of that stuff. I say this is because you start off, and if you know InstaWork, you can sign up and work a job today and then not work no more for the rest of the week because you didn't sign up for that. So InstaWork had medical sanitation work on there, and my friend applied. She got good. She was consistent with them. She had great work ethic, and they actually hired her on, and she's doing over 100K a year as a medical sanitation worker. And I'm only saying check them out because you'll be surprised. You might just find some medical stuff on there. But if you're really hurting for money, you can also find opportunities that does pay really, really good. I'm talking about two or three, sometimes $400 or $500 a day. The more you work, the better opportunities that you see that will get revealed. So this is how I turn one stream of income to multiple streams in order to get to the bag. This is how I'm able to do it. And I share and I teach this with all of my students. I have a student here, D. She secured her third contract after she got her first one, after me telling her to do the same exact thing. Because imagine, some people be like, 1250 is great. But what about 2500? She's doing 2500 weeks with three contracts. This is why I tell everyone, don't just stick with one. And if you didn't know, Crosstown, I got Crosstown the third week of my journey. The first and second week was just me applying. I was getting contracts even then. I was getting opportunities, I was getting hired on, but I didn't want them. You know why? Because they did not pay what I wanted. But I would have not never knew that, which I kind of did already knew that. Not even gonna lie to you. I just told myself I'm gonna keep applying because I wanted to get something more and greater. And that's when I got Crosstown the third week. I was working the fourth week, but I had already got several contracts prior to that. You want to be able to pick and choose. So this is the three-step formula that you should be doing tonight, if not tomorrow. Um, so I have a question. How much money do you want to make this month or next month? Because it's November 30th. So in the month of December, month of January, month of February, how much you want to make a month? How much do you want to make a month? Jalora says, how about medical courier industry in New Jersey? Yep, there's work everywhere. Just think about this. If you are near hospitals or you have access to a hospital, a clinic, or anything type of medical facility, medical couriers and couriers is going to be needed because we are needed in order just for that whole system to work right. If you didn't know, when you go get your blood drawn and it has to go get tested, whether it is to say, this is positive, negative, you got this disease, you don't, it does not matter. It goes to a different hospital 9 times out of 10. It's never the place that you got your blood drawn. It's always done somewhere else. That's where us medical couriers come in and take that to that whatever hospital lab that's going to perform that test. So when people ask me, is there a need? How about my area? I'm like, do you got hospitals? There'd be people from Nigeria, from Jamaica will ask me the same thing. And I'll be like, I don't know, but answer this question. Do you have hospitals? Do you have clinics? If you have those things, then yes, medical courier is going to be a thing and it's needed. Okay, so let's look in the chat. I want to see how much money y'all want to make. How much money y'all gonna be making next month? So Jay says 5, Jalora says 10, Ada says 5 to 10K, iPhone 5 to 10K, total restoration 10K, Cindy 10, iPhone says 5K minimum, Mr. 7, 5 to 10K, 10K region. All right, all these numbers is very much so doable. Normally, when I ask this question, there's somebody that's like, I want to make 20K a month. Oh, there it goes. I spoke too soon. It's great. It's Gabriel. Well, I tell everyone if you want to make that type of money, then you're going to need to do a couple of things. You need to make sure that you get your business contract ready so you can go after these bigger contracts. And then you also need to be open to adding other services so you can be able to get to those goals from multiple streams. And then you'll be able to hire people to run them for you. So, yes, anything over 10K, 15K, you just need to come about it just a little bit different. You're not going to be able to make that money driving because you remember you're only one person. And remember, when you're driving and making money like that, if you don't get up and make money and drive, you don't make no money. So you're gonna have to start that business side to where that business work, whether you work and actually drive that day. Devin says, I just need 2,500. Oh, then that's doable. And I'm gonna share with you why that's doable. So the reason why I asked you all how much you want to make a month is because I like to always visually see what it is that I want to make a month. And then I like to work backwards to see what is that number per day. Because a lot of you all have no goal in mind on a daily basis. They just know, you just know that you want to make money or you want to make 10K a month. But you haven't had or built out a strategy to say, every single day, I got to make this amount of money in order to get to this goal by the end of the month. I do believe if we all did this more, then you will reach your goals faster. You'll see that it's really not that hard. So I made this little graph right here, and this is based off of a 5-day work week. So it doesn't matter if you're doing Monday through Friday, if you're doing Wednesday through Sunday, it does not matter. What matters is consistency. You need to be hitting 5 days a week, every single week in order to get to your financial goals. So right here, for anyone that says that they want to make 5K a month, which is I did see that in the chat, that is going to be 1250 a week, and that is 250 a day. 250 a day. So for Devin, he said he wanted to make 2,500 a month. Then you got to be at 125 a day. I'm here to tell you that is not hard. Not hard. The 5 to 600 is a challenge because you're going to be driving for 8, 10, 12 hours a day in order to get those numbers. But for 125 a day, that's what you have to be at in order to make $2,500 a month. For anyone that's saying 7,500 plus a month, that is going to be 1,875 a week, 375 a day. And then for the 10K a month is 2,500 weeks and $500 days. So wherever you are at, wherever your goal is, I want you to hold on to this number. Because also I'm going to share with you how you can actually see this realistically in real time on how you make this money. So get your number. Everybody got that number. Now I'm about to post up screenshots of actual medical courier and apps, and this is how I would do it. I'm leaving Instagram. I need to get my calculator out. I need to get my calculator out so I can do this math. So right here, these are job opportunities taken from Indeed. Indeed. This is 120 to 130. That is a low ball. That is or a medium. That's like a medium of what companies are charging. This is more so on the higher range, $200 to $500 a day. I want to be able to show you that we're going to do it on the low to mid range, and then we're going to do it on the high as an example so you can see how it is you're going to be able to get to your financial goals in 1 month. So let's just say you're coming in here and you want to make you're going to get this opportunity. You landed this opportunity in Texas and it's paying you 130 a day. Now mind you, we don't just grow with just one route. I like 1 to 2 main routes, and then I like 2 to 3 apps to go with it. At the very least, 1 or 2 main routes. These are main routes. And then these are 2 to 3 apps. So we have this app right here. This app is called Roadie, Roadie. Roadie should be in almost everybody's area. Now, is it popping in everybody's area? That just depends on that area. I know for me and Rhodey, it's okay in Riverside, but it picks up more in LA and Orange County. And then Rhodey has medical courier drops between 8 a.m. till about 1 p.m. a day. I do know that. So what you do need to take from this is that no matter what app you get, learn your app. Learn your app. Take 1 or 2 days once you get approved and you're in the app, just look at it, gauge it, see what drops at 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the daytime, 5 o'clock in the evening, 8 o'clock at night. It's because your area is going to be your area. My area is my area, but you will never know until you at least see what is like engage, like what is the norm, versus even the weekend. Things is going to change on the weekend. So right now we have our one route for 130 a day, and then we're going to add in a couple of apps. Let's say we add in this app, and let's say we did one over here. This is called Jitsu. This is Roadie right here. This is I view it. This is to take pictures, to be an that agent to be able to take pictures for government agencies, real estate agencies. Remember, I told you they don't pay the greatest. But if you're in the area and you're already doing something over here, then why not do a couple of these and make a cool $20, $25? That's gas. That's insurance for your day. So right now we already did one main route right here. Then we did 1, 2 apps. And let's do this one again. Let's do 3 apps. And then let's just say we did a couple of these. That's just an extra $20. Right now, this is not a lot. Doing 1, 2, 3, 4 apps and one main route, that is not a lot. So that number came up to $295. That's between this and this right here. So you're going to be doing over $5,000 days if you keep that up. Now, let's say you're just more aggressive and you're hungry like me. It's because if I'm going to come out and I'm going to get in my car, I'm going to be driving almost for all days because you're not going to take me into LA just to make $200. Heck no. That traffic alone coming back is brutal. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be out there all day. And then when I say I'm out there all day, I need to make over 400, 500, even hit the $600. I'm not coming out for 2 to 300. Some of you all is like, oh, I'll go out for 2 to 300. That's cool. But I said if I'm going to be out there, I'm going to be out there the full day. I don't want to just be out there for a few hours. So let's just say you're more aggressive and you're saying, oh, I'm going to be out there all day. And let's say you got this right here. This is in Riverside, California. It's out here by me. Let's just say the medium. We're not gonna say you making $500 a day. I'm gonna say you only making $250 a day. I'm gonna go medium. Because remember, I want to show you that you can get to this number by stacking. You don't even need to get to this number from one opportunity, even though that is here right here. To that $500 days. So let's say you got your 250 day, and let's say you did this one right here for 35. Let's say you did this one right here. Oopsie. This one right here, you did an $80. Let's say you did this $30 one too, again for Roadie. And remember I was telling you about InstaWork? This is InstaWork. This is a job opportunity. I think this is in Pasadena. 160 for 5, 6, 7, 8 for 4 hours. 160. Let's say you did that 250 a day, which is this, for your full day and you came in toward the later part of the evening and did 4 hours and got 160, and then let's say you did one more app and got 30. Right now, that is 585. 585, and now you've reached your 10K a month. This is the exact strategy that I used when I was doing $8,000 to $9,000 a month. The only reason why I was doing $8,000 to $9,000 a month is because I was working 3 weeks out of the month. When I tell you I was a hustler, but I was tired because driving is time consuming and it's a lot on your body. So when I'm doing 10, 12-hour days, 5 days a week, 1 week, 2 week, third week, by the fourth week, I would always take it off. And this is something I was doing even in my Uber days. When I would Uber, I would go hard for 3 weeks. And then the fourth one, I would take off, I would work fully on my business, but I was not driving. But that's was what I did. But there was plenty of times that my husband was like, you crazy, you stay off the fourth week. And he would work the fourth week. Granted, you do not need a partner, but you do go farther and further along faster with a partner. But you can make this money because I was doing it by myself without a partner. But I just want to share with you how you can visually and you can see how you make these 200, 300, 400, $500 days. Does everyone in the chat understands how you can do that? How many hours of driving? Jade, it depends on what is your goal. So if you're doing $200 to $300 a day, you're probably driving maybe for 6 to 8 hours. If you're doing four, five, $600 a day, you're driving anywhere from 8 to 12, sometimes 14 hours. Because remember, your area does plays a part. But it's not to say that you can't make money. It's just hard to say you're going to drive for this amount and you're going to make this amount and that's how it's going to be in every state. No, I mean, honestly, it can change for every county. It just depends. But I just want you to be able to see it so you can be like, all right, now I know what I must do. Devin says, so we are our own dispatchers too, to some degree, especially if you get the contract yourself. You're going to be a dispatcher. You're going to be invoicing. You're going to be paid doing payroll. You're going to be the administrator. You're going to be the marketing team, the sales team. Just know that you will put on different hats because depending on the time of the day, I'm all of those people, all of them. All right, so we do have another option. So for everyone, it's like, all right, I know how to make the bag. I know how to make the most money in this business. And I'm here to tell you that's beginner money. That is beginner money. There is contracts that are government, that are private, that are B2B businesses that you can go your business and you go to another business in order to get contracts. There is levels to this. What we just went over in this class was the absolute beginner bottom. And the bottom is not bad if you can make $200 to $500 a day. That's actually wonderful. But what I've come to find out is that that is just the beginner. You really need to get your business contract ready. You need to get your business contract ready. That means having your business entity. That means having your business phone number, your bank account, your business email, your physical address. You need to get your business contract ready. Why? It is because you want to be able to access these type of contracts. What are these contracts you're talking about, Leela? These contracts. So right now, remember the company I told you I work for, Crosstown Courier? I told you I'm gonna share with you on how a proof on them getting government contracts. So there's a site, and it is free for you all. It was down during the government shutdown, but it's been working for me a little bit better. But it's called FPDS. FPDS.gov. That's the site right here that I am pulling the information that we're viewing right here. This information is a government-based site, and this has all of the federal contracts that are winning. Now, mind you, there's levels. There's federal, there's city, there's county, there's state. But right now, we're talking about federal. This site right here holds the federal winnings. so you can be able to go do your research. You see right here, Crosstown Courier. You see right here, November 7th. This company is considered a prime contractor. They are the ones that is in charge of the contract. They're going to, once they win the contract for couriers and express delivery, as you see right here, they have to now post and find you and I to be able to run these routes because they did all of the paperwork, they did all the negotiation, they did the pricing, the proposal, they did everything for them to win a $350,000 contract on November 7th. Mind you, that was this month, 2025. And then they would literally go post on this site. Indeed, this is where I got found mine. This is where my husband got hired for his. You'd be surprised, the very same site that you're looking for opportunity, it could be that exact same site that you're looking for government contracts, or if you, or you even hiring for drivers yourself. So let's go back here. Crosstown again, November 5th. They won a contract for $72,000 and some change. Bomb, right? Give me some money emojis in the chat. Again, Crosstown, November 3rd. They won a $500,000 contract. Who in here is like, bump $500 a day? No, I'm just kidding. $500 a day, those type of contracts, I'm not gonna lie to you, can come a lot faster. This is a little bit more work. Not saying, not trying to scare everyone, but I don't want you to sit here and think that tomorrow your prime contractor, now you're going to be winning this. You can win it. It could take anywhere from a month to 90 days, but it depends on, do you have all your paperwork? Are you contract ready? Because that alone can take 2 to 3 weeks. But I just want you all to know is that this should be your goal. Doing medical courier with your car should be your stepping stone. I don't promote anyone to believe that they should be driving for the next 10, 15 years. Child, you're going to get tired. And if you say you like driving, just wait on it. You should not be doing it. I think it's great for experience. I learned so much. The things that I learned when I was driving and I was working with Crosstown is some of the very things that I put in my now lab business that is helping me. So just know that it taught me, but then it also paid me. It's almost like a paid internship. That's how I looked at it. And then I was able to reinvest in my current business, which was the event space. So don't think that, making two, three, or four, or $500 a day is not good. That is great. That is amazing. But I just want to be able to show you all what is there after that. Like what is after your stepping stone. Again, Crosstown, October 30th, 15K. October 29th, you can see down here, $153,000. Combined in the last 30 days, Crosstown did over $1.1 million. And it doesn't stop there. We have medical supply contracts. Medical supply contracts, November 21st, 25K. November 20th, 22K and some change. This is what I'm telling you. It does not matter where you're at. You just need to get started. It does not matter if you are beginner or advanced. You have opportunities. If some of you are on this call, it's like, hey, I already have my EIN, business bank account, LLC, everything that I'll list in the government, get contract ready, and you want to dive straight into this, you can do that as well. You can do that as well. But just know that it is level. So this is federal. Then there is private. These contracts can be anywhere from 1 to 5 years. I'm talking about for SAM, for the server side. DIBS is a government bidding platform, and it has just supplies and product. But SAM has services and product. Then we have private contracts, Then you have your city and your state and your county. That's why sometimes people ask me, well, where should I go to get my prime contract, so I can get government contracts? I think that you should always be working at this on the background, but you should also be looking into contracts that you've gotten yourself for your business that is private or B2B. It's because those contracts are generally awarded faster than the SAM. Not saying that you shouldn't go after it, because remember, you see SAM, you see these type of contracts that are over here. This can take you 30 days to win, 60 days to win. It is worth it because coming out of $500,000 and I worked on this and I got the answer in 60 days, bomb, bomb. So I just want to be able to share with you, what is should be your next goal. And your next goal should be getting contract ready. You should be doing this simultaneously with you looking for work as a medical courier. I say this is because it takes some time. It doesn't take a long time, but if you are a working adult, you're working medical courier on the side, and you are doing and getting your business contract ready, just work on it a little bit each day. It does, it's not a lot. And I'm gonna give you a spreadsheet, a checklist for free because I do want to see you go to the next level. What I gave for you in this call so far, this is what you need to do in order to start making some now money. This right here, this is near future money. This right here that we see over here, this is, oh, now I can leave something for my kids type of money. Now I can replace my 9 to 5 type of money. I do think you can do that on two, three, four, $500 days driving as a medical courier. If you're working for Olive Garden or somewhere that's like not bomb, yes, you can replace that income and do medical courier routes with your car. But this right here, this is lifestyle change. This is lifestyle change. Okay, so isn't it obvious this is going to be one of the greatest paths to your financial freedom? So let's recap. In this class, we've been together for about an hour and 20 minutes. You now know the three-step system on how to make an extra 3 to 8.5K per month with only your car. You now know the medical industry that's now paying nurses salary. You also know how to get started as a medical courier and also how to scale and go after direct, private, and government contracts. So I ask, has this been valuable so far? Has this been worth your time? Let me know in the chat. I want to hear from you. How do you feel? Was this class worth your time? Or you're like, I could have been eating some more Thanksgiving food, Leela. Let me know. Give me some feedback. It's okay if you're like, yeah, it was mid. You can do better. Okay, I got some yeses. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Thank you, everyone. So the real question is, I've given you a roadmap, but now the real question is are you going to walk it alone? Are you willing to give yourself 30 to 60 days of consistent work ethic? You need to be consistent and persistent. So, can you give me a yes in the chat if you feel like I have given you a clear strategy? In the beginning of the class, you might have felt a little confused, a little bit of like question mark, but do you have a clear strategy on what needs to be done? Monday is the first. Next week, that's tomorrow. Monday is the first. We starting off strong. So now you have a clear plan. Jalara, I will go over just in a sec how you can rewatch this. Give me a yes in the chat if I delivered on my promise and gave you the three-step formula. And give me a yes in the chat if I have your permission to share with you what I was talking to you about in the beginning about private B2B contracts, government contracting. Okay, so I have put together something special that I have not done in the past Sunday classes. So I usually host this class every Sunday, and I give you all an opportunity if you want to join a community. But I have created a Black Friday sale for everyone to access. It is up to you. It's no pressure. But at least I want to share with you what is inside. So I do these 5-day challenges. I do them like once a quarter. The last one that I did was in September. And you will have access in my 5-day challenge. I go from beginning to end on how to start and scale a medical courier and a medical supply business in 5 days. So you have access to this. Now, mind you, when I do these classes, they're usually available for a limited amount of time. You will get access to the 5-day challenge for lifetime. You also get access to the homework and workbook. So every single day, I have templates, I have checklists for you to actually be able to follow along and do everything I'm telling you to do every single day. I also have a community in school. So for anyone that does join, you will be able to get biweekly calls. So we have a call this Thursday. These calls is usually filled with not just mentorship and coaching, but also I'm going to be answering questions, contracting questions. If you need help with a contract, reviewing a contract, come to the biweekly calls and I will assist. Also, you are going to get a lead list. I have created a list of over 2,000 companies in different states all over the USA, and it gives you an opportunity for you to be able to get in contact with these medical courier and courier companies without doing any searching. Now, you still need to go ahead and reach out to Indeed, but this is just another layer for you to be able to get along further and faster. Then I also give you a free ticket. You get two platinum tickets to my next challenge. It's going to be in January. And in that challenge, I'm going to be sharing with you in full detail how you add the other services, how to make sure you're compliant for DNA, for ink fingerprinting, for drug testing, as well as medical courier. What I'm going to be sharing with you in the January 2026 5-day summit is stuff that we have not went over. My goal is for you all to develop not just a medical courier business, but a medical lab business that has multiple different services that you can be able to offer and get to that 10K, 15, 20K months plus with your medical lab business. Also, I have two school communities. I have a Lab Academy 1.0 and a Lab Academy 2.0. You will get lifetime access to both those communities. I charge $300 for this community one time, and then this one is one time for 37. Then you also get the medical supply bundle. So for anyone that is like, oh, I want to do the medical supply route, I want to do business with the government. Well, I have a bundle where I give you 30 to 40 different contracts per month. And they already have the product associated with it. I've already done all the research. All you have to do is make contact with the manufacturer to get your quote and then bid. That is it. So I do have some fast action bonuses. Although I am giving you all the Get Government Ready checklist, I'm going to give it to you shortly. I'm going to give it to you shortly. Even if you don't purchase, I'm going to give you this because I want you to be able to be working on something in addition to everything we did in class. Because I do believe that you driving as a medical courier should be everyone's stepping stone. I do not promote that this is something you should be doing 3, 5, 6, 10, 20 years from now. No, this will be your stepping stone. I also give you all the medical courier ebook. We talked about the lead list already, and then the virtual assistants. I have a many templates and the things that I've used in order to secure me a virtual assistant from the Philippines. This is very crucial if you want to scale your business because you cannot do everything. I was one of those people. I was thinking I was going to do every single thing, and I'm like, no, I need help. When I finally hired a virtual assistant, my life got so much easier. When I tell you I paid this lady, she's from the Philippines, Kayla, she's bomb. $7 an hour. And I actually pay her very well. The starting over there is $4 an hour. I went ahead and said I'm going to pay a seven. But I went through so many different VAs, so I finally figured out how to get the best VAs. And it really comes down to you. It's not them, it's you. It is how you're hiring, how you're presenting yourself, how you're doing your SOPs. Like you really have to get good and how you're interviewing them in order to make sure that you're choosing the right one because it is so many different virtual assistants over there that want to make money and want to work for you, but there's so many of there that just be playing. Then I also share with you inside that community on how to get grants. This is free money. This is free funding, free money. So this and everything else, I have so much more. You will get lifetime access to. If you know, I normally give either a month or 2 month access or 12 months, but not lifetime. So the Black Friday bundle, it is on sale right now for $4.97. Now I do have some options for you all. The options is you can get the $4.97 and get access to everything for lifetime. Or if you're like, hey, I'm not sure I want to commit, you can commit for $47 a month. You will not get lifetime access, but you'll be able to be in this community and be able to access the things that I talked about, like the medical courier training, the medical supply, and doing business with the government. I also have credit and some funding options for you to be able to add an extra 50 to 100K to your business. And why this is important, I don't care if you're talking about you driving yourself and you want to invest in some vans or the car or fleet, or if you just want to get supplies for your medical supply business, you're going to need credit and funding, as well as government contracting. We go over that, the virtual assistant. I even put the vending, because remember that vending was one of the first businesses that I have invested in. And I do think it is a great business that you can start. But for me, I didn't want to do it long term. But it is a great business to get you some passive income, maybe even do something with your kids, even give that to them when the time comes. But I like vending still. Then I have some other things that you can add, like mobile notary. And then the greatest thing about when you join this community, you will get access to the new information that I'm going to be giving you all about the DNA, how to get compliant, how to start your or add that service, the ink fingerprinting, the drug testing, the prenatal testing. It's so much more that you can add to your business, and it's great. So this is going to be $47 per month. You can cancel at any time. If you want to invest for the 12 months, it is $297. And if you want everything and plus everything else that I gave you for the Black Friday and get unlimited access, that is $497. So I just have a couple of price points to fit whoever you are and where you want to interact. So if you want to join, I'm going to add it in the chat. So you'll be able to access the school community and the chat. So if I click it, it'll say $47 a month. And once you go ahead and try to pay, you can either choose from 47 one time, or you can get 297 for 12 months. And then the second link, the Black Friday link, is access to the Black Friday unlimited access to be able to rewatch everything, and also to have a ticket to the next challenge, January 2026. And then also with this right here, you'll be able to use Klarna and Afterpay, so you can set up some payment plans and pay later. Let me go ahead and give this to my YouTube family. I didn't want to forget about you all. I'm gonna put that in the chat. But this is the school community as well as the Black Friday. Now at this time, let me get my screen back. Give me 1 second. At this time, I want to take some questions. Any questions? I know we've been talking for about an hour and a half. Any questions you have right now? Any doubts? You shouldn't have any doubts. You should actually know what it is that must be done. You already know how much you should be applying for a day, where you should be applying. Oh, let me give you this before I forget. The Get a Contract Ready checklist. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the chat. I'm gonna give this to you, YouTube, as well. I'm gonna put it in the chat. This is the Get Government Contract or Get Contract Ready checklist. This checklist is what you should be working on um, right now, right now at the same time. Because remember, you only gonna need maybe an hour for you to apply for a contract so you can drive. Just give yourself another 30 minutes to 45 minutes to work on getting your business contract ready. So you can read through this. This is basically saying what's the significance of getting your business contract ready and why we're going to be doing this specific way because a lot of these government agencies or private agencies, they require you to have certain things done. So I made a checklist. I made it real easy. So for anyone who does not have their business name already, now if you already have a business name and LLC signed up, registered, that's great. But this is for any new booties, new beginners. I want you to choose your name and then buy your domain name. You want to make sure that you choose a broad name. I normally like to do a broad name and then I will add a DBA or an LLC under it. So right now I have several LLCs and S corps. I am adding a I have a parent company name, and then my DBA is going to be my lab business that I have. So you want to do that like that so you can go after funding. You don't want your lab business name as your parent company name because then that'll interrupt with you getting max funding and a couple of other things, but basically the funding aspect. So I tell everyone if you're starting new, get a broad name, a parent company name, and then add a DBA under it, and then that could be your lab business that may have medical courier in it or whatever it is. So that's your step one. You go here after you choose a name and you buy the domain. This is very important because your domain is going to be your www dot name. That means if you're going to go on a search your website, you need to make sure that you buy that domain for you to even have a website. It's very important is because a lot of times, and I'm included, you'll start doing other things in the business and then you go back to buy your domain name and it's taken. It's taken because it's $2,000. You want a domain name. I'm just putting in any name right now. You want a domain name and purchase it that has .com behind it, and you see right here is $14. There's plenty of domains out here, and you may like it, but you might have been married to it, and it's $2,000 right here. You can choose to pay it, or you can go about it like I did, was change my name. And if you did that in the beginning, you don't have to worry about later if you're like, oh my goodness, is this going to be my name? Am I going to be able to keep it? No, because you already would pay for it. So that's why I have that as a first thing on your list is getting your business domain. Next is you need to register your entity. That means getting your LLC or your S corp. You decide which one. I have both. I've had LLCs and I have both S corps. It is up to you. But you start at your city, a website. That's where you start to get and form your LLC or your S corp. The next thing is you're going to get your EIN number. You're going to go to irs.gov. This is free 99. Then you're going to get your DUNS number. Do not pay $299 for an expedited DUNS number. You're just going to go to DNB right here, and then you're just going to go ahead and put all your information in, and then don't pay anything and wait for them to give you your number back. Wait. Don't pay the money. I'm telling you, it's a waste of $300. Then you're going to go to your next lookup code right here, and you're going to put in what it is that you're going to be doing. Like, what is the main focus of your business? If it's medical courier, put medical courier here. At this next code right here, 492110, excuse me, is courier and express delivery service. That's what that is. Then you're going to write it down. Then you're going to get this business information. The first thing is you want to collect their physical address. You cannot use a virtual address or a PO box. I repeat, you can't do any Opus clip, I think it's called Opus something. Regis even. No, what is it? Post office that got a physical address, but it's really a P.O. box. No. A physical address is one or two things. It's either your home address or a brick and mortar address or a suite or something like that. What I did was we had opened up an event studio. We used the information from our event studio and our location because it's the actual on the boulevard that we used to set up. So now that access our physical location. If I had to restart over again and I didn't have a physical location, I would just use my home address. I'm only telling you all this is because some of you all is like, oh, I want a physical location that I'm going to go into some in the office and pay a suite. No, that costs money. Costs money. But that's not terrible if you're going to be adding different services later. So I haven't said too much to my public yet, but we're in the midst of changing our event studio to an in person lab servicing business. So not only will we be doing medical courier, stat delivery, but we will also have services like the DNA, like the ink fingerprinting, like the drug testing, to where either I go to them or they can come into the office. So I'm only saying this to you all to where if you do pay for a location, think about turning it into other areas that it could benefit in your lab business. It's because I don't want you going out here spending money if you don't have a clear plan on how you're going to make money for that business to be, standing on its own 2 feet. I don't want you to just go get an office just so you can say I have a physical address. We need to use that physical address to be able to make money, and we can do that by offering other services. Then we need to get a business phone number as well. You can use your current cell phone and use third party apps like this in order for you to have a business phone number. These third party apps, it'll be able to ring from your phone, but it'll ring your business phone number. From that, then you can just answer accordingly. Like, hey, Leela with such and such lab courier services, da 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 da. Then you want to get your business email address. You're going to go to Google Workspace. Do not use your Gmail. I don't want anyone talking business to someone talking about, yeah, respond back to me at kaylab@gmail.com. No. Spend the $9. It costs $9 a month to host a business email. Remember, whatever your domain name is, that's going to be a part of your business email. So let's say the first part is info. It'll be info at yourbusinessdomainname.com. Or it could be team at yourbusinessdomainname.com. Or admin at your business domain name. But it should not be leelab@gmail.com. No, we are a business. If you want people to respect you and get you contracts, you got to start by presenting yourself as a business. The next two questions, this is just financial information that you need to write down and keep note. And I suggest that everyone has a Gmail account for the most part. You also have a drive. You should create a drive just like this and label it my important documents. And everything that you've collected from here on down, you write on that sheet. I say this is because it'll save you so much time when you're registering for these different local or state or county sites. They're going to ask you all this information that you're grabbing right now, and it's best that it's all in one location. And then also the reason why I tell you to do that is because when you start applying for sam.gov and then DIDS where have government-based contracts, you want to make sure that you are copying and pasting your business name, your business address, exactly how you wrote it on the first form, your first important piece of information, whether it's EIN, LLC, is because when it comes for you to come down here to register with SAM, They're going to verify that everything that you put on their application matches all these other sites. LLC, EIN, Dun and Bradstreet. They need to make sure. And if you are off by a period, they're going to flag and say your application did not register. I know this from experience. I wrote on one piece of part of my information, on my business information, I wrote street in full form. And then on another piece, it was like my LLC, I abbreviated street. That alone flagged Sam, and Sam said, you cannot, it is not verified because everything does not match. So I had to go back and amend all my paperwork and make sure that everything had the right street dot and then the word suite abbreviated, because there were some forms where I would actually write SUITE suite, then the suite number, and then there was other ones that I would write STE, then the suite number. All I'm telling you is don't do what I did. Write everything down in this sheet, and then you should just copy and paste, honestly. Copy it and then paste it. That's the best way. Because you don't want to have to go back into the man paperwork, because all that does is waste more time. Now you got to get the amendment paperwork, fill it all out, send it back, wait for them to change everything. And then you will go back into these sites and say, hey, can you go back and re-register me, because now all my information is correct now. And then the last thing that we're going to be talking about, last two things, is your business bank account. You need to get a business bank account. You cannot be commingling funds. So that means go get you a credit union. I use Navy Federal, or you can get a Chase, a Bank of America. It is up to you, but you need a business bank account, because when it comes time, once you win these contracts, you have to have your business bank account in order for them to pay you. They're not going to just be sending you checks to your name. Get a business bank account. Mind you, this checklist that we're going over right now, and I tell you to go register for sam.gov and then dibs and then register with your state. That is a couple of avenues of where contracts are being held at. That is at like one of the highest levels. Then we have B2B businesses. Then we have private contracts that you go after. Those two contracts are not none of these. That's none of these. But it does start with all of this first. You need to get your business contract ready. It's because even if you're going after private contracts, they're going to want all of this done as well. So know that. It does not matter which avenue you go into when you're looking for contracts. You might go in all of them, but you need to start here. This is your foundation. And also, some people is going to ask, well, do I need this in order to go after medical courier work that I'm driving? Yes and no. So there's going to be companies that's not going to require you to have any of this in order to drive. I'm talking about driving. I just switched a little bit. Then there's going to be companies that's going to only require you to submit a business EIN, business bank account information, a DBA, which is a doing business as. And I tell everyone I had both. So no matter if I was applying for this or this, and they wanted to run it and me apply through my with my social, I was able to do it. If they said go through your business, I was able to do it. That's how I was able to make sure I touched even more opportunities than most. Because some people is like, I'm not going to get my LLC, and that's fine. But why not get it and set your business up so now you go from just going after this little contracts to all of these contracts, because this is what opens up the gate to so much more opportunity. Okay, so I gave you all the get government contract checklist in the chat. I see a couple of questions. Um, Let me just go back to see. Can I make the lab a division of my parent company name? When you say division, are you referring to like a DBA or an LLC? If that's the case, then yes, Devin. Yes. So like for example, my S Corp is called Leaders Acquiring Businesses. then I'm adding a DBA under it for the lab. And if I wanted to add another DBA under leaders acquiring businesses, I can do that. If I wanted to add another LLC to it, I can do that as well. You have options. I chose to, I could have added this DBA to my event space, but I wanted to keep it separate. My event space is event stuff. It's um hosting events, maybe even speaking arrangements and engagements or whatnot. But leaders acquiring businesses, that is more lab, that's more services, that's more medical, courier, DNA, anything like that. So I just chose to separate it. But you can do that with different LLCs or S corps by adding DBAs under it. Does that make sense? Andrea said, I got my website in LLC. That's what's up. Whoop whoop. I would just say make sure you got check out this checklist and get everything on this checklist. So then you can either start going on these sites and registering, or you can go straight into these companies and start pitching. I have I'm working on everything for the January challenge that I'm doing. And I'm working on everything that you need to have to make sure that you're compliant, every type of certification, every waiver that you're going to need. And then I'm also working on the list of the companies that you should be reaching out to so you can get these private contracts. Everything that I just said, you can go private or you can go federal or you can go state, but you have options. Hey Tori, co-mingling is the quickest way to pierce the veil and get things taken. Yep. Is this Tori? Is this Tori from last year from the challenge? Will a Gmail account with our business name suffice? Mr. T. No, no Gmail account. Now, I'm not saying that these companies won't respond back to you. I just think that they won't respect you and take you seriously. But I just say no Gmail. Mm-mm. Are we able to get an EIN for a DBA? So how an EIN is going to work, your EIN is going to go to your S Corp or your LLC. Your DBA is not going to have an EIN. It'll be associated with your LLC, but it won't have its own EIN. Who holds the EIN in is going to be that LLC or that S Corp. And so it's not necessary to get a virtual address to start a medical courier business to register your LLC. It's not to say that it's not necessary. It's more so you should not do it because a certain site, certain companies is not going to accept your virtual address. You do need an address. You need a physical address. You don't need a virtual. That's what you don't need, or a PO box. Tori says, absolutely, I need to connect referrals. Okay, I thought that was you. I am working on something for you, sis. So I'm just going to tell you this now while you're in class here. I'm going to bring you in this academy. So you are in the other thing that you're in, but I'm going to bring you into this academy. So then you'll be able to refer people. And then also, this is for everyone. So if you were to join inside the community, you can make what is my referral? Let me see. Hold on. It's either 20 or 30%. It's 30%. So for everyone you refer into the community, you will receive 30%. If you come into the community and you're going to pay $47 a month, you're going to receive 30% of that $47 every single month. If you refer someone and they buy the whole year for $297, then you will receive 30% of that $297. There's no cap in referrals. You can refer as many people as you can inside the community. Now, how do you access your referral affiliate link? I know, Tori, we talked about this because you told me to send it. I can't send it because if I send it, then I will be giving people my referral link. So if you, everyone that's in the community, but for you, Tori, if you go to your face and you go to affiliates, all of the affiliates will sit here for you to be able to refer people. So, for example, the school community, they have a 40%. So if I were to refer any one of you all with my link right here, I will receive 40% every single month. For the Lab Academy, right here, you click it. This is the referral link that you will use in order to get 30%. These links is going to be only for you and your account. So if you tell someone else to send me their referral link, they're going to start collecting that money because that is their referral link. So again, you go to your face, you go to affiliates, and then you find whichever one is here. Tori, I can get you in here now if you just drop your email address to me in the chat because that is what I was going to email you or DM you back because I seen your message. I need an email from you so I can add you into the Lab Academy 2.0. Will that stop or flag you from funding? Cindy, it does not stop you. It might flag you a little bit. What it does is it does not give you maximum funding opportunity. So let's just say you can get $150,000, but if you are using PO boxes or virtuals, then you might only get 10, 20, or 30. But that's not the only reason why I say that not to use a PO box or virtual. I say that is because when it comes time for you to register for SAM and DIBS and some of the other private companies, they're not going to even register you. So they'll flag you with that along with funding. Does a TWIC card help you with getting courier jobs? It doesn't really help you. It's more so required if you get a contract and they said, give me a TWIC card. You won't be, it's not a position where it's like, oh, I have a TWIC card. Can I get a contract? Because that's what you need, right? No, because not all contracts is going to require TWIC. Every contract that I have worked and driven for did not require me to have a TWIC, a TSA card. They did require me to have a bloodborne pathogen and that HIPAA certification, but a TWIC card does not automatically get you to getting jobs. No, it just means that that contract requires you to have a TWIC. This is why I don't suggest anyone going after contracts without figuring out what it is that they ask you for. Okay, let me look, Tori. Let me open this other one. Um, Let me just do this right quick. Okay, Tori, I just sent you an email. Please check it out and then you'll be into this community. All right, so let me go back here, let you look. Okay, got you, got you. Okay, let's go back here. Understood. Does the tool card? Yes, okay. Would the $47 a month allow me access to the lab 1 and 2? No. So the $47 a month will allow you into the 2.0 only. You'll be able to access all of the classroom section here that you see. You'll be able to join the bi-weekly calls. So the next call is going to be this Thursday. You'll also have access to the leaderboards. So these levels unlock something different. This is free when you join the community. So that means when you reach level 3, you get this. When you reach level 4, you get a pricing bid sheet. You reach level 6, you get the medical supply bundle. How do you reach and unlock these levels? It's by communicating in the community tab. Whether you are sharing your progress, your winnings, you have questions, that's what the $47 um, membership gives you. But the one that you just asked, does it have lab 1 and 2? That is the Black Friday. The Black Friday comes with the replay to the last challenge, 2 tickets to the new challenge in January, plus unlimited access to this community, this community, Then you also get the medical supply bundle and a couple of other things as well. And that's lifetime access. You welcome. You welcome. Tori, are you in? Are you in? Yes, you're in. Welcome. Nice to hear from you though. All right, any other questions? You welcome. You welcome. Any other questions before we get out of here? Everyone should have a clear plan on what it is that must be done. Now it's just taking action, writing down your plan, and then do a deep dive. Tomorrow's the first. Start the first off. And it's a Monday too. Tomorrow's Monday and the first. All right, let me close this. I'm just closing all these apps because I can't see good. What are the days for January? So Jamie, I have not confirmed a date for the 5-day challenge in January, but I'm thinking because January has 4.5 weeks. I'm thinking the last week or the week before that. So either the week of January 19th or the week of January 26th. Thank you, Jalara. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Ada. And what are the days of the January? Yeah, I'm not sure what days, but for sure the week of January or the week of the 26th. And it's gonna be 5 days, maybe 6 days. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do 5 or 6 days challenge. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome, everyone. Thank you so much, Suhi. Welcome to the community. Let me see who else. You said zero way to how to navigate your new community. Yes. So for anyone that joins the community, you're going to go to the classroom section and you go to start here. Start here is going to give you, I think it's like 15 minutes. How long is this? Oh, it's 18 minutes. 18 minutes, and it's going to explain everything inside the community. Awesome. 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 Any other questions before we go? Let me see if anything on the YouTube. I be forgetting. Jocelyn says, do you offer one-on-one classes? At this time, not one-on-one. Only thing I plan to do is after the January challenge, I'm going to open up a done for you and with you type of one-on-one gig to where you're going to be learning how to, run and get your contracts and everything. But then also I will be assisting you with landing contracts. So I will do the work for you. There will be work that is needed on your end, but I'm going to be doing the finding, the negotiating, and getting the contracts on your behalf. But as of right now, no, I'm only doing that after the challenge. Okay, I think I answered all of them over here. Okay, thanks for the information. You're welcome. Perfect. Will there be another one of these intro classes? Next Sunday. I usually do them on Sundays. Unless something comes up and I just can't make it. But I usually do it Sundays at 4 p.m. and it's usually live. I don't run the pre-recorded that I did from the previous Sunday. I usually do them live so I can be able to answer questions live and just I like the real time. I think you all do too, right? You're welcome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Devin. Also, I'm gonna put my email in here for you, Devin, or anyone else. Info at Lab Group Inc. So you can send me an email. I know you wanted to talk a little bit more, and then send me an email, Devin, and then we can go from there. You welcome, you welcome. Awesome, awesome. Well, I hope everyone have a good rest of their Sunday. Make sure that you are applying tonight and tomorrow. And if you have any questions, I will see everyone either Thursday for class, or next Sunday if you choose to come back. All right, have a good rest of your evening and a great start of a new month. All right, peace.